Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're about to dive into the bread and butter of the TXG YouTube channel. It doesn't get more TXG than what we're about to do, which is to review two new shafts that hit the market. There's no doubt about it, whatever we're testing, I don't enjoy anything as much as I enjoy these ones.
Especially like something from the Diamana range, something from Fuji Speeder range. I think people that have been into shafts for like 20, 30 years, these are the kind of the big releases that get everyone's attention. Yeah,
when I read through the spec sheets on these things and start to formalize a thought as to, okay, this type of player, that type of player, I can see how they've manipulated the bend profile, they've brought in new materials and start to kind of get that in my mind. I get excited about that because it's you know, I'm thinking about this guy behind me. You know, the shaft matrix, which we, you know, I guess are somewhat, you know, famous for. You know, the shaft matrix is a lot of what draws people in because the options we have. And we're talking about, like you said, Matty, Mitsubishi, Fujikura, you know, the Callaway and the TaylorMade of the shaft industry, right? They're the two heavy hitters. It's been 8 years since Fujikura have launched a new speeder, a new version of the speeder. Okay. If we think back to the speeder evolution 2, 3, 4, went through 7 versions of that until they finally decided to you know, make a pivot with that technology. And technology is why they had to make a pivot. They had to change something. In the same way, you've got with Mitsubishi, you've got Diamana, flagship line. Speeder is the flagship line for Fujikura. Ventus is the Tensei, right? That's the kind of the way I look at those two companies. So we've got Speeder NX, the next generation. Key technology, we spoke about this a little bit, is the VTC, the variable torque core.
Kind of an interesting concept, variable torque.
Variable torque within, you know, different areas of the shaft to give you a specific feel. Low torque in the tip section, low torque in the handle, a little bit softer in the middle, higher torque in the middle.
Very cool.
So trying to get a very specific bend profile. Designated as a mid-high launch and a low spin. Slightly softer midsection is kind of how they've kind of managed to do that. You know, that's kind of the idea. So, you know, excited. I've done some testing with the 60. Today you're going to hit the 70X.
What did you think in your initial kind of swings with it?
Super smooth. Really, really smooth. Really nice and stable. Mikey tested the 60S. He commented on it, actually, to him felt soft.
Nice.
You know, from what he's used to, which generally is, you know, a nice kind of
that's
feel.
what you want with the stability in performance.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're really quick, you generally don't mind a bit of a boardier feel or a bit more of a stable feel. But when you're kind of around the 100 mile an hour mark, something that feels like it's loading and smooth is quite a nice feel. Yeah. So yeah, definitely looking forward to testing the NX. But firstly, you're going to test the new Mitsubishi Kylie. It has been released before. We had on the first run through, we had the Kylie, which was the blue board.
I remember
that. The Illima, which was the red, kind of already orange, and then we had the Ahina, which was the white board. Right. So Kylie white is basically blue board feel with whiteboard performance.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very low in torque, Matty, 2.7 degrees of torque.
It's low.
Very low. The stiffest tip section Mitsubishi have ever made. You know, Mitsubishi are kind of, you know, the only company really in the shaft manufacturing. We've mentioned this before, but they make all the materials that go into their
I remember you mentioned that. Yeah, so no outsourcing, it all gets done in-house.
Yeah, and just the evolution of these products, the MR70 that goes in there, you know, super high carbon content, low resin. You know, it's a really, really premium product. And both of these shafts actually are obviously coming at a premium price point.
Yeah, they'll be on the highest end, basically.
They'll be at the kind of 400 USD mark, you know, a little bit more than that here in Canada. So these are the kind of creme de la creme of what we would have on our wall.
The good stuff.
Okay. Let's start you out with the Kylie first, and then we'll go over to the Speeder, Matty.
Sounds good. That felt good. Oh.
Imagine you started your day with one of those.
I'll let you know if it ever happens.
Wow.
So we've got some downhill, about 20 yards of help. The normalized on that was 308 carry. So
308, okay. Yeah, another beauty.
Yeah, this feels good. It doesn't feel crazy stiff. I think they've done a good job with what you said. If they were trying to make it feel a bit like a blue board, I wouldn't say it feels exactly like a blue board, but it's close.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly. That's a really good point. You know, it's never going to be a blue board.
Can't be.
You know,
or it would be one.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, you're not going to get the amount of stability this is offering. Those are really sporty numbers, Matty. 176. That's handsome.
A little more low spin when I felt like I hit the high part of the head.
Oh, chase.
Get out there.
Chase ball. Yeah, that's
out there. It's good too, just needs to hang on. I'd take it though.
okay. All right, let's flip you into El Speeder. Speeder NX. A little bit heavier than the Kylie torque. Actually, so the 60 TX on the Kylie white mat is 3.2 degrees of torque. It's the 70 TX that's 2.9. So this is actually a little bit lower torque than the Kylie. So it'll be interesting to see how your kind of feel is with this one. As I said, stiffer handle, softer midsection, very, very low torque and tip section of this guy. Let's see what it does.
I feel like I've got better control of my timing with this so far.
It's very different. I mean, you exclusively looked like you were going to hit the Kylie left to right. This is all of a sudden right to left.
Which is odd because this one feels like there's a bit more load to it for me. Yeah, I like that. A little touch of spin on that, but I don't mind it.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Such a good looking ball. I feel like a lot of speed's coming out of this as well, ball speed wise. Like that one I didn't feel like I hammered that much, but it's got one of the higher ball speed readings. That one's nice, should just hang on.
Get a little ground fade. Oh,
almost.
It's really good.
Yeah, a little low in the face, but it's just a really nice flight.
Okay, so, I mean, it shakes out to, in a test. That's why you can't, I guess, just always look at, numbers for these things, because there was no question the ease of use kind of was with the Speeder NX for you.
For whatever reason, it suited my timing better. I think what you said about the midsection having more torque, I could feel that in transition. I liked the Kylie, but I think at certain points I couldn't figure out my timing with it, and I kind of lost the club face. And the NX, I just could keep down the left side of it easier, which is what I would prefer. I would prefer not to have a miss that rips right too often. If it goes a bit right, fine, but not the one that turns over.
Yeah, if you were just able to keep the face a little bit more open. Quite a neutral delivery today, interesting, 0.9 angle of attack, so just marginally. We talked about last week with Trackman, that's probably actually a slightly downward blow.
It probably is. Yeah, there's something going on with my neck's been loosening up a bit, so I think I'm a little bit less kind of getting behind it and reaching on it. So
good.
I'm happy with it because it's easier to hit the driver straight, that's for sure.
No, I mean it looks awfully good. Yeah, slightly low in the strike with both, marginally heely with the Speeder, back into the toe a touch more with the Kylie.
Interesting.
Would you say the Kylie felt stiffer then?
Yeah, I think if you were going to sort of make a blanket statement, yes, the Kylie's a stiffer feeling shaft. The one thing I would say though is that it was kind of the lighter one of the two. So it didn't bog me down for speed.
Yeah.
I just felt that the amount of stiffness maybe just didn't suit my timing.
Yeah.
This one being a bit heavier, it didn't bother me.
No.
But I enjoyed the fact that the midsection has a little bit more kind of play to it. So I mean, I can see how a different style swing, maybe someone that transitions a bit quicker than me might prefer the Kylie, but they're both like excellent. Excellent shafts.
And I think that's why we can never say that shaft profiles are going to simply produce launch and spin numbers.
Yeah.
The timing element is, you cannot be overlooked. The immediate ability to time this one and actually change the shape.
And still hit a flat fade, which I thought was quite different. And you're right, when you look at the final numbers, you go, well, they're basically exactly the same, but the experience and I think the consistency that I would find with this one would just be something I prefer.
Very, very good. Well, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Next season, we're going to be talking about these two shafts a fair bit.
Yes.
We've already seen Danny Willett win with the Kylie at the Dunhill.
Oh, that's right.
In Scotland. So, there's been so much play from whiteboard and blueboard users over the years. It's a natural one that will be requested.
I could see a ton of tour players using that Kylie, because that's the thing. A lot of them used to go between whiteboard and blueboard, or someone like Tiger would play whiteboard in the driver, blueboard in the 3-wood, so maybe they like a little bit of each. I can see someone going, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. And then this one, I think for a Fuji shaft, I've never had quite this feel from a Fuji shaft. I think the Speeder Evo, the last one we tried, was nice, similar to this, but overall I think just a bit too soft feeling. I think this one is tightened up enough. Maybe the way you said they've done the handle and the tip. I'm feeling that more, but you still get the smooth factor from the middle. It's quite a smart, it's effective, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you're seeing a lot of shafts being designed that way, Project X load zone, where they're kind of seeing that softness in that midsection. It's becoming quite a popular, I guess it's always been a popular
they seem to be refining that technique quite a bit.
It does seem so, And this is a new twist on it, isn't it, with the variable torque core.
Different way of doing it, right? Not just with the stiffness.
Exactly. Good stuff.
Really good.
Guys, we love geeking out in the shaft tests. Obviously, this is where we kind of are in our element, where we love seeing the nuances, the hearing about the feels, seeing if the design characteristics, how they show up on the range and in the numbers. And like we said, although these numbers are very, very similar, they were quite different in terms of how you got to those numbers.
Absolutely.
The journey was different, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, the experience was quite different. The feel throughout the swing is different, and it is funny that they ended up that close, but I think over time, the performance on the course, they'd start to separate for the person that prefers one or the other.
I think that's right, and the more sort of maybe the more someone reacts to shafts. You're a Rolls Royce when it comes to hitting the driver. You're just, it's hard to kind of knock you out your stride. Some people are very easy to wobble in terms of how you can change their performance, and something feels too soft, they can all of a sudden, start hitting it everywhere because they feel like they can't time it.
Right.
Sometimes it's too stiff and they feel like they have to overwork it and start getting out their comfort zone. You're very good at extracting yourself from those things and still continuing to hit the same shot. Not everyone's like that, so that's why individual testing is so important when it comes to you've got to be fitted. As much as one day, robots will rule the world, this will be always the hardest part for, fitting based on AI sort of recommendations. Will always be the hardest thing is to try and replicate the feel of a player.
I think the AI kind of recommendation probably would have put me in the Kylie.
Yeah, probably.
And I think something usually heavier and a bit higher torque, even though this is unique in the way it does it, generally doesn't suit me that well. But when I tried it, I would pick this all day.
All day.
Really cool.
Good stuff. Okay, we've got more shafts in the door. We have some UST product. We have another one from Mitsubishi to test. So there's more to come. Obviously 2022 is just around the corner, so we're going to have lots and lots of new product coming in for testing. So we wanted to kind of kick this off as part one of our shafts to watch for 2022.
Yeah, some more to come.
Good stuff. Okay, stay tuned. We'll see you again soon.